Hello and welcome. Today I've got access to a preview build of The Last Chieftains, which is releasing in a couple days. It's going to be out on the 17th of February, which by the time this video is live, won't be very many days away at all. So, I'm briefly going to give you guys an overview of the new civs. I'll take a look at the tech trees, and then I've made a scenario in the scenario editor, like always, with all the units and all the objects, and we'll take a look at those and listen to the voice lines and so on. First up, before we do any of that, they added a new section in the options for voice chat, which lets you chat in the lobbies and perhaps in game too. I haven't used it in detail. It came enabled by default, and there's no hotkey to toggle your mic, so they'll probably fix it for the release, but if they don't, you better double check and disable it, otherwise you'll have a live mic in the lobby. So go check for that. So the new civilizations are the Mapuche, the Muisca, and the Tupi, which I hope I pronounced correctly. We'll take a look at the tech tree for each one briefly. If you want sort of a detailed strategic analysis, there are other content creators who will probably do that and show gameplay footage of them. The Inca have also been sort of reworked into the South American architecture set and using the South American regional units. So, tech trees. We'll start with the Inca. Their bonuses are basically the same. They don't have eagles anymore. The new regional scout unit is the Champi Scout, which turns into a Champi Runner, which turns into a Champi Warrior, which turns into an Elite Champi Warrior. This replaces the Eagle line and also the Swordsman line for these new civilizations. Beyond that, this update also brings with it the naval rework that was featured in Thessalocracy Cup in the fall. So any ships that don't have a cannon galleon currently will get the catapult galleon. And also the water triangle has been reworked with the addition of the Hulk line, which is a melee ship. And then the demolition ship has been moved basically into sort of a support line, where ships that have a unique warship won't get the demolition ship line, they'll get their unique warship instead. And all the ships have been moved onto one page of the dock, which is good for new players. And the main ships all upgrade using the medium and heavy warships upgrade. This is your new combat triangle, these three here. The demolition line and unique ships will still have their own upgrades. We also have an additional fishing ship upgrade here ahead of Gilnets. And we have some dock techs that have been moved to the university. To free up space in the dock, basically. Beyond that... Oh, the other thing... Give me a second. So all the new civilizations have a settlement, which replaces the mining camp, lumber camp, and mill. And it's basically a universal drop-off point. Provides 5 population. And you can research all the techs there. And some of the civs have bonuses for settlements too. So, let's move on to take a look at our new civilizations. We've got the Mapuche, which is a cavalry and counter unit civilization. So they actually do get cavalry, they don't get a stable, but they have the Bolus Rider, which you'll see here, as a cavalry archer at the archery range. And then they have a unique cavalry unit at the castle as well. So the foragers drop off more food. That essentially means that they get more food out of a given amount of berries. Settlements can train the spearman line and scrim can train counter units. Extra HP. Mounted units generate gold. Defeating enemy castles are revealed on the map. That's an interesting bonus. See how that will play out. Then their ranged units deal... Well, their ranged counter units deal pass-through damage. And team castle unique units. Essentially, I think that's like if you get the Kuman Kipchaks, for example, they're also cheaper if you get them from your ally. I don't think this helps team members in any way. It just helps you if you get stuff from your team members at your castle. So the Bolus Rider, a charge attack that slows down enemy units. And yeah, the tech tree's also been optimized, so like the stable doesn't even display anything further here. Although I believe, and I didn't test this, but we can test it when we're in game. We can see if the Shalotl Warrior can be trained by any of these units. Right. We want to look at, and this deals increased damage to injured units. This basically sounds like a knight replacement type of unit. Yeah. Alright, then we have the Muisca, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. Less gold to advance. Settlements heal nearby units and are cheaper. Extra melee armor for various units. Monks regenerate faith faster, so archer and monk. Caravan guilds free. We have the Quecha Warrior and the Temple Guard. Faster movement speed, some slinger bonuses, and gold lasts longer for the whole team, which is nice. Natural gold. So, the Temple Guard attacks faster the longer it remains in combat. So I suppose if you use like hit and run against it, it's not in combat. I don't know. There'll be other people who test the exact mechanics. The interesting thing about this Temple Guard is that it can also be trained at the temple, i.e. the monastery. Yeah, if we go on here, this guy regenerates HP. Oh, right. And these are the ones that, yeah, they regenerate HP when nearby ones die. I think the historical point of this, or the historical reason for this, is because they sometimes carry mummies into battle, or I think they were using that to justify using this gimmicky mechanic. Yeah, Temple Guard can also be retrained at the monastery. Also, all the new civs have female monk. Then we have the the Tupi. Infantry and archer civilization. Start with some extra resources. Villagers can garrison and settlements. Fallen units return some of their cost. Upgrades cheaper at the archer range and barracks. Then we have an archer and an infantry unit. Faster attack, poison damage for this basically frog poison. Very deadly. And towers. Towers and castles provide pop space. Towers, that's interesting. Huh, interesting. No thumb ring. It's the powerful frontal area attack. Okay. And the archer. Oh, this is cheap unit, trains quickly, takes up half a pop space, but it's basically the Karambit archer. Weak but cheap and fast to spam. Alright. Also, while we're here, the dock can now garrison fishing ships and shoot arrows when it's garrisoned as well. So, enough of that. Let's go into the scenario that I built. If you're jumping in, skipping the first part, now you should join here. Maybe I'll put in chapters below so that you know when to skip to the right parts. Alrighty. Oh yeah, right. I turned on enhanced graphics again for this. So, I think we will start with an overview. So we've got a bunch of new animals, the ones that I made my previous video about. I was speculating that the DLC would be in South America. No, that was right. Um, and we have some new food sources. We have a few new Gaia objects. We've got some new trees, and we have one new architecture style, which we're gonna all take a look at in a bit more detail. So there are two new terrains. There's this water terrain here that has some, it's called water with weeds underneath. I think this was a terrain that they made for some previous like spring terrain mod or something, and now it's an official terrain. Then you have this new forest. Actually, we can just go here even and grab the water terrain and so the water, yeah, is called water weeds, and the forest is called Forest Dry South American. And this forest is interesting in that it has a lot of different tree objects from different tree objects are included in it. It includes Italian pines, olive trees, acacia trees, green oak trees, which are a new type of tree, bush bee, and monkey puzzle trees, which I have to admit I had never heard of until making this video. All of these are random trees that appear in this forest, so you get a very heterogeneous mix here. Then when we get to like animals here, we've got the black panther. We have the snake. And the snake has a bleed attack or causes a bleed, and it also most predators stay right in the same place. Mostly don't walk around. The snakes you'll see it later, they are slithering all over the place. They do not like staying in place. Then we have the flamingo and the condor here as two new birds. We have the howler monkey, which is this piece of, it's like a panda rock basically. It's a piece of jungle rock that has some howler monkeys on it. They're probably animated. We'll check that in game. We also have these new cliffs, which I have to say, in a scenario where you can place them perfectly, they're probably quite cool. They're a bit wonky to actually place them in a map. They look too regular, and also they're a bit glitchy. Yeah, they don't look great when you use them when you place them in a random map script, but in a scenario they're surely nice. These terrace cliffs they're called. Then we've got the settlement, which I put some here so we can use them. We have two new deer equivalents, the guanaco and the rhea, which is basically an ostrich. A deer, basically. We have the caiman, which is not... It's a slightly different model from the crocodile. It also has a charge attack, or like a bite attack. And we have whales for 1,000 gold that seem to be using the dolphin audio right now. Here's our new catapult galleon. The whaling ship, which is just a fishing ship. It turns into a whaling ship when you click on whales. We've got the new dock that can shoot arrows, so it has the range circle now if you click on it. And we have two new fruit bush options. We have the papaya tree, and we have the pineapple bush, both giving 125 food each. We have the capybara as a herdable sheep type thing. We have the tapir as a boar. What else am I missing in this section? Nothing. We can check the voice lines later. If you want to take a look at the new monk skin, it's right there. And then if we go over more Gaia objects, we've got this small waterfall that can be used in scenarios. We have this explosive gunpowder keg, which we're going to test and see if we can blow it up. It has HP, so I assume you can attack it, and it goes boom. We have this treasure chest, which we can't. Yeah, this is just a treasure chest eye candy. Then we have various burned building C. Basically, it's the South American architecture style as burned buildings. Could be useful for making scenarios. We have the scaffolding that already existed from a previous patch, but there's another version now that is walkable, i.e. units can probably move through it. It doesn't create an obstruction. Then let's look. We looked at the cliffs, so trees. There are also some trees that don't have their own forest, but that you can place. We have the Brazil wood tree, which is this whole block here of different Brazil wood trees. We have here our monkey puzzle tree, which we said was part of the forest, the dry South American forest. We have some wax palms here, very tall palm trees. And we have the green oak tree, which has a ridiculous number of rotations. Different tree rotations. I think some of these, I don't know if they're all new models or if they're some of the existing oak tree models. I want to say that they're existing ones, but I'm not sure. Some of them look very similar to the existing ones, but it's a new tree that you can place if you want green oak trees. Alrighty. Next, I suppose we could look at the unique castles and wonders. So this is the castle for our different civilizations. I've set up... Player 1 is the Inca. Player 2 as... Why is it now random? That's not what I set up at all. Oh, I'm installing Gaia. Let's stop messing up things. I've set up player 1 as the Inca. Player 2... I'm misclicking again. Give me a second. Yeah. Player 2 is the Mapuche. Player 3 is the Muisca. So Mapuche, Muisca, and the Tupi over here. I've also given them each a different age so that we can then look at the architecture style through the ages. And so we've got our castles here, we've got our wonders here, which all look like this one here. Look at this one, it's a nice waterfall. Although, like if you build this as a wonder, you're basically building a rock formation and putting a little small wooden temple on top of it. Like at least here you've actually built a fairly large structure. This, like, is just the waterfall collapses? We might have to look at what it looks like when they're destroyed. We could actually do that at the end, if I remember. Then, if we look at the architecture style, we've got the houses in 3 rotations, town center in each age, barracks, stable, or what is this? No, this is the settlement, right? This is the settlement. They still have a model for mining camp and lumber camp and mill. That's these 3, in case you want to, use that in a scenario, or probably an old campaign that has the Inca in it, for example. But I assume they can't build them anymore. Then we've got the archery range. We have a stable, even though they can't build a stable normally. We have the blacksmith. We have the watchtower, guard tower, keep, the bombard tower, and the fortified tower. This is one that you can only build in the scenario editor. We have fortified wall and the stone wall. There's also this new fort wall, which as far as I can tell isn't something one of the civilizations can build unless I missed it. I think this is just a scenario thing as well. We've got the new dock. We have, from the naval rework, we have the Hulk, Warhulk, and Carrack. We have this wooden fort, which is a castle of sorts. It's just, as far as I can tell, you can't train anything. It's just another it's a castle replacement for use in scenarios. We have more flags. Apparently, there are lots of unique gather point flags now for each civilization, or garrison flags. So that's why they added 5 new flags. We've got our trade workshop, we have our market, siege workshop, and we have our university, and our monastery. So that's all the buildings. Now, what am I missing? I think it's time to go over the units. I apologize for any mispronunciation of heroes, but I do my best. I also apologize if I miss any unit. I did go through with Advanced Genie Editor and try to find everything, but it's possible I missed something. So the missionary is being updated. It can carry relics now. That's why I put one here to remind me about that. We have the Champi Warrior, Champi Scout line, I suppose. Here's the Guecho Warrior, Kona, Bolus Rider, Blackwood Archer, Pema Warrior, Temple Guard. We have the War Dog, who this one's wearing armor and a spiked collar. This is also just a scenario editor object. The War Dog is kind of like the hunting wolf in that it runs faster if you order it to attack something. We have the Alpaca, which I also had some over here, and I didn't mention them when we were here. This is a horse replacement. You can't gather food from this by default. It can auto-scout, though. And we have a couple heroes. We have Lautaro, Galvarino, Guacolda, Hakanchike, Araiboya, and Kwanhambebe. And that, as far as I can tell, is all the new content. Now let's test it so we can listen to voice lines. Yeah. Less messaging. So these guys are going to go run off, but that doesn't matter. We currently have the Incas selected. Oh, we can watch the snakes. Look at them. Like they're on the move. They coil up. And when they move, they slither around. The howler monkeys are howling. You can see it does bleed damage. Some of these animal sounds might be too loud. Cayman. We have our whaling ship, which can gather whales. It can also become an oystering ship, or I don't have a fishing ship, or it can become a whaling ship again. God, the click box is a bit... Gather? Maybe it can't while it currently has food. The box for clicking on this fish is buggy. I'm gonna have to report that. That's like clicking on this whale. Oof. Like it's like a giant box, but actually clicking on the whale. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. In any case, you can also garrison in the dock. Bam. So the Inca keep the same voice lines for their villagers. Ah, the snake came all the way over here. See, now this villager has a damage rate. It's taking bleed damage. Yeah. And the monk is using the female villager sounds, which I find a bit weird. Usually the monks have their own sounds. And it seems I forgot to place a king in the scenario, so I'll do that in a moment so we can fix it. Yeah, same sounds everywhere. Let's see what happens if we blow this thing up. Yeah, that could make for some fun mechanics, right? We look around too. I didn't actually place wonders, these are monuments. Oh! And of course, they've taken control of them all. Right, we can test the wonder destruction afterwards too. What else did I want to test? The waterfall is animated. I want to see how the destruction one on this specifically looks like. And yeah, the howler monkeys are animated as well. They hop around. And it's kind of the Panda Rock idea, right? They hop around, they eat some stuff, they howl a bit. These snakes are going wild. Right. Yeah, so the Inca all have the same sounds as before. The monk is... the missionary is slower when he's carrying a relic, but still not bad. So you can see some attack animations here. My god, those snakes are really having a field day. See, the dog is kind of fast, but when you order it to attack, it gets even faster. Okay, this hero has an aura. Seems to be increasing speed of nearby units. This one is healing nearby units. This one is increasing the armor of nearby units. This one is increasing the speed. Significantly faster, apparently. This one has Blast With. Yeah, he's damaging two tiles here. Of course, all of these units are probably better used against something that isn't a fortified wall. Except the Temple Guards, which are fairly good against buildings. So, I think we've got everything here that we wanted to see. Oh, I guess you can look at the new ships. But you may have seen that already. They are a bit awkward when attacking buildings because they attack with grappling hooks, right? I'm in post-imp here, so... as the Inca. I can train this Shawal warrior, right? Yeah, this one has an aura effect for the Muisca, which I don't remember what it was, but we saw it. Presumably that's why it's listed. It's creating a square. Alright, let's try with the other civilizations. I'm also going to give myself a wonder and a king, since I was missing that. So we want to see the collapsing animation, and we want a king, so we can adjust the king audio, because kings, monks, military units, and villagers are the things that have different audio. There we go. We'll put our king here. Alright. Save it. And now we need to switch. We are player 1. We're going to switch to the Mapuche. And then our wonder should change as well. Perfect. Now we can go test our audio. Okay, so villagers cannot gather from the whales, even if they're next to the coast, as far as I can tell. The non-Incan monks do have unique audio, though.
Wifkun, Felei, Amuan, Nentuken, Salwafe, Kuzaufe, Nentuken, Mai, Kumei, Mai, Amuan.
Felei, Salwafe, Nentuken, Kuzaufe, Nentuken, Kumei, Felei. Shumesi que yo afe Felei, Fema, Amuan EU.
Felei, Amuan, Mai, Kimon, Amuan, Wei Chan. Father Chengkum, Mai, Wei Chan, Kimon, Wei Chan, Mai, Amuan, Kimon, Mai, Kimon, Amuan.
Tem, Felei.
Could also have them build and repair, but I think we got a pretty good overview of the audio already. Alright, now I'm going to go and switch to the Muisca. There we go. Right, what else do we want to see? I think we got most of it. Now, this monk is an old lady.
Ena inanga Saba shisheka Amuiska kuwa Asaba gowa Maena Amuiska kuwa Mae enepkwao Asaba gowa Saba shisheka Mae enepkwao
All right. And once more. We will now switch to the Tupi. Now comes the wonder that I was wondering about. If I delete this thing... Alright, the water splashes. And then it turns into a pile of rocks. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ooh, that's a lot of fine pieces of roofing flying in every direction.
Aiko aipoba eres auie Pusukara Aiko auie Ka amondoara Auiabete Pusukara Tekasara Ye porakasara Tekasara Kapuabiguara
Yerokesawa. Pusakara. Asoko e Kotana. Ka amondoara. Pusakara. Ye porakasara. Tekasara. Kapeabeguara. Pusakara.
Marampe Assó Coecotauie E Icatu Emonane Icatu Emonane Auie Assó Coecotane
Empe. Asoko e Kote. Ikatu e Mona. Aimborit. Ikatu e Mona. Asoko e Kote. Aimborit. Aimborit.
Kings too, they have a nice feather crown.
Asoko e Kote. Ikatu e Mona. Aimborit.
Tere mi motara rupi. Auiebe. Asoko e Kutana. Auiebe. Asoko e Kutana. Asoko e Kutana. Sepeñana. Chiasso. Wari ninamo. Auiebe. Asoko e Kutana. Sepeñana. Wari ninamo.
Oh, the attack rate is kind of slow. Those snakes! They rove around the whole map. Interesting, so that didn't trigger a chain reaction. Ah. Interesting. Can I, like, get an area of effect hit? Okay. Anyway. I think I've looked at everything that I want to show you in this video. I might do another video where I look at any other changes. A bunch of the maps have been updated as well, but I didn't see any new maps on a first glance. And then I also have a notepad where I wrote down a few more things. Let me see what else I noted down. Right, there are a couple more animals that don't have new graphics, but the string exists, so you can rename existing animals to have that name. That would be the dingo, the alligator, the emu, the leopard, the cheetah, the warthog, the bush pig, the uriel, and the dog. So you can rename existing units into those names in your map, in your scenario. Alright, I think that's everything for now. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and go buy the DLC on February the 17th when it comes out. That's all. Thanks for watching.